she is.
There she is.
Yeah.
A little early today.
I do what I can for you.
You don't do shit for me. This had nothing to do with me.
I'm here for you, pal.
You didn't even think of me to let me know. I had to still ask what time today.
Yeah, I don't even know what day it is.
Well, that's a problem. I mean, maybe you need to clean the fat out of your ears or whatever, however it works to be aware of what day it is.
Don't even know.
Don't even know. What do you got? What do you got
Let's
lined
go.
up for you
I
today?
am ready.
What do you got?
I've got Tito's lined up,
That's
ready
it?
to go.
Just Tito's?
And then for my drink, I got Tito's and Gatorade. So
What's with the Gatorade? Like you
it's
trying to stay
sugar-free. I'm
hydrated?
watching my weight.
Yeah, you're watching it go up and up and
Watching
up.
my weight.
Watching it go up. All right.
You tell me when you're ready, pal.
Hit it, baby. I got Knobs
2,
Creek.
3.
Mm.
I don't know if I've ever had Knobs Creek.
I'll tell you what. This was a small batch bottle. It tastes different than the big bottle I have. Oh my God.
That's weird.
This one's it's a small batch. It was brewed
Yeah.
as a separate small batch.
All right, I'm ready for 2. I'm ready for 2.
I'll tell you the Knobs Creek maple is delicious.
Maple, okay.
Maple. I don't even know if they make it anymore. I know it's not stocked in my house right now. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I had to wash that one down. That one fucking kicked my ass.
All right, over there?
This is rough trade over here. Yeah, let's do the second one. Ein, Schwein. I don't even know how to speak in German. Go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Woo, those are
out of my nose.
Yowza. All right, good. I feel so glad I made 3 of those, and the last one I'm gonna let water down with some ice. Jesus,
I'm glad you did too.
Christ. Oh, and all I have here to wash it down with is iced coffee, and that's not exactly a pleasant combination.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Oh, fuck me.
So what's going on there, Chief?
It's Tuesday. I know you weren't aware of this. When people listen to this, most of you, it'll be Wednesday, but for us, it's Tuesday. WrestleMania, our WrestleMania holiday's officially over. It is. It kind of lasted. I mean, technically, I'd say from Saturday through Monday night, almost midnight. So a solid 3-day holiday we have.
Well, I mean, Monday to midnight for those who actually could stomach the whole show on Monday, but yeah.
And for us on the East Coast,
Right.
Right. On the West Coast is a different story. Or anywhere else in the world that you might be watching, or whatever.
I mean, I know we talked about night 1 already.
Well, I got a few things on my list. I don't know what you got on your list to talk about today, or if you have any.
I mean, I feel like we have to talk about night 2,
or what your preparation is. But I figure we could do that, like we could close it with that.
Oh, okay. All right, what else you got on your list then?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is I've been getting these. I have an affiliate sign up on our podcast. On any what?
What a worker!
on our podcast, you can click our links to our socials. But there's also an affiliate. I was just testing the waters. I might put other ones up there, a way to support the show, because we don't ask you to pay for anything. We don't ask for donations, nothing like that. But I was like, if you ever want to use Instacart, sign up with our link and I'll get a credit for it. I didn't exactly understand how the credit worked. I thought I could compile these $10 sign up credits and then just go, spend $300 shopping one day through Instacart. It doesn't work that way. There are $10 credits, and you can only use them one at a time. So it's not the best affiliate thing to use because now I'm committed to using Instacart because we have had like 270, 27, but I have 270 Instacart credits, which means I have to shop with Instacart 27 times to redeem them.
Right.
And you're only saving $10 on each transaction, so that since you can't add them together, you're not really saving anything. You're just kind of like not paying the tip and the delivery fee or something. So
Right.
So you're still paying full freight on the actual groceries or liquor or whatever you're using Instacart for. What a rib. But yeah, we've had like 27 signups in like the last like 2 weeks, I'd say. And like I've had this link on there way longer than that, way longer than 2 weeks. But apparently someone found it, and I feel like these are all like it's all shenanigans. It's like one person, using multiple email addresses and signing up multiple times and getting us
Yeah, but like what? I don't understand. What do they get out of it?
They're helping me.
Maybe I'm confused.
Listen, because the person I'm going to accuse of doing this, because we
know, right.
We are, without even speaking to anyone, I am 98% sure. No, 99.8% sure it's Bobby Rogers. Because this is his shtick. He'll do things like this. Like send us mystery things from Amazon with gimmick names on them. Just in fun. And he likes me. He might bust your balls, but apparently he likes me enough to let me get Ben some credits for Instacart,
Right.
So it's just like, I was excited at first. I was really excited at first. I'm like, oh, like, I don't care who's doing it. And if he has some like way to game the system by creating new email accounts or something, because there's no way like just randomly all of a sudden people are hot to sign up for this. I've never even mentioned it before today. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like it was up 5 months before this. So this is not even like it's new. So it's very suspect. So that's why that's the main reason why I assume it's him. Because I don't know that we have anyone else that listens to our podcast. And he claims he doesn't. But anyone else that listens to our podcast,
I don't think
it's
him.
Who do you think it is?
Maybe it's Speedy.
Why you blaming Speedy? Speedy's too busy to futz around and create
CJ.
28 email accounts. You're just naming people hoping they respond to this podcast. I know what your shtick is. You just want people.
Look. Okay, I can see it being Bobby. Like, he is top suspect. There's no doubt.
It's something
he would do.
He's the top 4 suspects as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Now, I could see CJ doing it just because it would throw you in a frenzy, like, oh, I've got all these, but I can only use 10 at a time. And like, it's because as much as it's good, it's kind of a pain in the ass a little bit.
Well, that's after, but like, that's a retro thing. Like, I found that out after the fact when I logged on and tried to use them all together. I don't know that she would be aware of that ahead of time and think that would be a gotcha thing for me. Why would I put it up if I didn't want them? So
right, true.
It's
got Bobby is he's definitely suspect number like 1 through 10.
You're making people way more Machiavellian than than they probably are. Even Bobby.
Right, but Bobby, he would do it. But yeah, he would do it. So he is. I gotta tell you, I didn't tell you this. So
yeah,
I gotta tell you, I tried to get him to send you a pizza on April Fool's. But he messaged me and he said, "Hey, what's for dinner?" And I'm going to send you a pizza. And I said, "Oh, it's too late. I already cooked." And he goes, "Damn, because I really wasn't going to send it. I was going to just make you wait for it."
which is funny.
Funny rib. Yeah, right. I can take it. Funny. Yeah. But my response was, you should actually send one to Ben but don't say who it's from. Just send him one and let him think like, who sent this pizza? And he was like, "No, fuck him. I'm not sending him a pizza." I was like, "Whoa."
Well, he wanted it. He was in the April Fool's like state of mind. He didn't want to actually
not like the real pizza. Yeah.
He wasn't playing Santa Claus that day. He was playing the Grinch. So yeah, I mean, I would have loved a pizza to show up. I have no self-control these days. Speaking of pizza, by the way, that's the second day of WrestleMania. My roommate actually was here for it. And because he wasn't for the first day, I think he was out like doing girlfriend stuff because it's new and he can't fucking,
Oh, he's got a new girlfriend.
Listen, when it's new, for some reason, people other than you and me,
right.
most of the rest of the world isn't going to tell a new girlfriend, I can't do what you want to do tonight. WrestleMania is on. It's we're in lockdown mode. You know, you and I would do that. But most of the free world, you know, is trying to get another date or get another pee-pee touch or whatever.
Right.
So, well, you and I wouldn't care. We'd be
right, because we're establishing right away wrestling is just as important or more important than you.
Right, 1,000%. I've been seeing you 2 weeks. I've been seeing the WWE for 40 years.
right.
And not on and off. I've been seeing WWE.
Right.
It's been a steady abusive relationship for 40 years. Right. I have the battered spouse syndrome. I keep coming back. So yeah. So that's funny. I guess on day 2 he was like, you won't, you know, I guess he thought Marco was coming over with the wife and the baby, and I was going to be there, and he wanted to watch, and so he gave her the lowdown, and so she came, and she this earns points in my book. She brought pizza. She brought Jet's pizza, and you know, I was like, look, I kind of got irritated because he told me she was bringing pizza, and it was from Jet's, which is good pizza. I got a little pizza boner going on underneath my shorts for that.
Right.
But then he goes and tells me that he talked to Prime and that Prime was coming over. I was kind of hoping that like day 1 where he said he was coming and he wasn't, that was going to happen again, especially once pizza was mentioned, because I didn't know how much pizza was coming. And so now I'm like praying one comes before the other. And you know which one I'm praying comes before the other.
You can give 2 craps if Marco never made it.
So she shows up with the pizza. And I'm like, sitting there watching TV, and I'm trying to think at what moment do I time getting up to get the pizza, to get some pizza, and I'm like, I don't want to like jump up, be the first one digging in it, since like I had nothing to do with buying it. I was like, let them handle their business first. But then the door opens, and I hear his big fat mouth. I can't tell you how fast I leapt out of my chair and basically said, I got to get I think I said something like, the parasites are here. I better grab my pizza now.
Wow.
I mean, I said it jokingly, like to make him laugh. Right. Plus, he had a baby in his hand, so he wasn't going to be able to like go straight to the kitchen and grab some pizza. But I made a little bit of a scene out of it just for comedy.
You just wait till that baby can eat pizza. That's a whole nother mouth now.
Let me tell you that the scene here with that baby crawling around and our dog who has like no fucking like social skills or manners. He just like wants to lick the baby's face for 3 hours, and the baby just wants to play with the dog, but like the dog's like a little bit it's like one of those gentle giants. When I say giant, he's like 30 pounds, but the baby's like 10. So, or 15 or whatever. So the dog doesn't know his own strength when he's like going up there and licking the face and knocking the baby over, and no objections to it at all. But, what a scene for 3 hours. But Natalya was on the floor for 3 straight hours, either wrangling the baby or giving the dog the 5-second rule. Like, you can lick her for 5 seconds and then we got to separate.
Oh my God. What a scene that is. Right. I got to say, but go back real quick. Props to Huss's new girlfriend bringing pizza.
No,
what a way to come in.
Yeah.
What a way to come in. No, she's already established that she knows the importance of wrestling and pizza or food.
Well, it's more deeper than that. Like, I've met her a couple of times, but it's like if you want to start staying over, and you want to start like occupying the space here, and you want to like enjoy the electricity and the roof over the head. And now, granted, like, I'm kind of joking here. You want to take showers here and all that stuff,
right?
And you don't want to leave $5 on the counter every now and then. The perfect equivalent of that is to like buy pizza for WrestleMania,
right?
You're going to be everybody's pal for a while,
right?
I'm like, there's no better way to ingratiate you than with free food. To me than free food.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And she came with Jet's Pizza, not like a Papa John's or a Domino's.
Right. Or
she went like a little bit next level. Like she's like a mid-level right now. She came in hot.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the best, like one
Much
of the,
respect for that.
let's just say one of the best of the chains.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
It is.
One of the best of the delivery chains, yeah. Right. So
all right.
Now here's the thing though. She got a lot of pizza. She got 2 large of those like deep dish 8-corner deal fucking things. Right. So my worries were fully allayed. When at the end of the night there was almost like when you combine, at the end of the night when you get like a couple pizzas and then you combine them into one box, we had almost a full pizza left, and I gleefully threw it in the fridge and was like, like you wake up the next morning excited because there's pizza in the fridge and it's free pizza. Right. So like, yesterday I must have had, Jesus Christ, I must have had 7 slices. I mean, like that's all I had all day. So like you could say that's 3 meals, but Jesus Christ.
Right.
I can't tell you between Sunday night and all day Monday how much shitting I've done today. I know what the culprit is, and so here we'll wrap this part up. So Adam's like was supposed to, because he gets those HelloFresh things, and now that he's got a girlfriend, sometimes he takes one of them over and they cook it over there, and I know his gimmick. It's like get this girl to cook for you until she's sick of cooking for you. So let's because he's not a contributor to that. It's like there's a lot of we talk, but then there's a lot of singular activity when it comes to him and cooking these things. So I made a joke about it, but then he didn't go over there. And then today he messages me and he's like, if you want to cook that thing, and we'll just have it today because she's got food poisoning. And all I'm thinking is, well, thank God it wasn't the fucking pizza.
Right. Maybe it is, and you just have like an iron stomach.
Right. Well, I mean, I am like a fucking I'm a hot dumpster in July, in the back of a Chinese restaurant in South Florida here. I mean, there's this is I'm pretty much indestructible.
Right. So, well, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I came with nothing today because I thought we were just going to talk about WrestleMania.
Well, we are, but I mean, I figured like let's
I got nothing else. I just drove.
Well, but this is all WrestleMania related too.
I just drove 7 hours round trip to go pick up these kids because Nick starts his job tomorrow. So,
pick them
up from their mother.
Is there something wrong with just dropping them on a bus? I mean, what's all this driving on shit?
There's too much driving.
Put them on a Greyhound, buddy.
Yeah.
Listen, we've all had to do it. Let's let them make some towns on their own.
Yeah.
So the other, and again, this is another thing that was on my list to talk about, and it's actually WrestleMania related. You know how we were talking in the group thread about our buddy Bruce Owens, the referee down here, who's been involved in the wrestling scene, 30 years, 35 years maybe.
Right.
NWA, he's done ring announcing, he's done fucking refereeing, he's done a bunch of shit. He's a character. Stories for days. Great personality. Quick-witted, etc., etc. He loves to insert himself in matches and be part of the story. Whether it's like if there's ever headgear involved in a match, like someone's wearing a hat or headgear, and it pops off their head, it ends up on his head by the end of the match.
Always. Every match.
He loves to volunteer to take a fucking disgusting bump, if at all possible, during a show. And he's just full of shit. He's just one of those guys that loves to be full of shit, loves to work, loves to work. Yeah, I told you the story about how he had me bootleg those 01 T-shirts.
Right.
Remember? Well, there's a running joke is that what was it? The 5 years. That was a bit. I think those photos are from the Abandonment Monday WrestleMania. When somehow. Okay, this is kind of a convoluted story, but somehow Bruce got like some hookup to that WrestleMania. We think he traded a one of those jackets from what's the place in Japan, the steak place?
Oh yeah, Ribera.
The Ribera jacket. We think he did a deal with J.J. Dillon for a Ribera jacket, and J.J. hooked him up with like some like VIP stuff for WrestleMania. That's our theory on it, because the timing works out. And at that WrestleMania, he was everywhere. He was like in the boxes up top, and in that area where all the talent was walking around if they weren't like involved with the show. He had access to the after party, I think, and he sold. I think from what I could tell, I think he sold those wristbands to the little.
What a fucking worker!
To the little CM Punk family.
Yeah.
But didn't like wise them up. Like, listen, the after party is like formal dress. You know, not and by formal I mean like dress nice, like you're going to church or something. Not like tuxedos and shit. But like everyone goes nice, like suits and ties and stuff. And they were all they were all dressed like they had just come from 7 hours of WrestleMania in Orlando. Shorts and stinky t-shirts, and the kid dressed up like CM Punk, et cetera, et cetera. And me and Jackie were walking in our suits going into the after party and saw them being like held by like security, like hotel security or WWE security or a mix. And they were and I overheard them trying to explain that this was from Bruce, like they got their things from Bruce. Like that
is insane.
Yeah. So
what a worker.
So anyway, he had like all these access photos. Like there's this famous photo, and by famous I mean within people that know Bruce, on his Facebook of him like 2 rows behind Miz and Maurice during the Hall of Fame, back when they sat all those people and the thing was on the stage, and it's like an official WWE like press photo of Miz and Maurice, and Bruce is just strategically has got his bald head 3 rows back looking at the camera between the two of them. So it's like he just like, and he's, you know, like that's the friends and family section. That's like the WWE official section. That's why we think he got a hookup from J.J. Dillon. And so so the funny thing is, every year when those photos or when WrestleMania comes around, either one, because it's the same time every year, it could just be from his memories, but I think it's every time WrestleMania comes around, he like kind of reposts those photos to kind of make it look like he's still a mover or shaker at WrestleMania. And most people aren't like paying close enough attention to be like, oh, that says WrestleMania 27 and now it's 38, you know, or whatever, you know what I mean? And, or they just didn't see them the last 4 times around. And
no, he literally posted every year.
And so it was like a joke in our thread. We were joking about it and have a good laugh about it. And then that is same night that we were talking about it, I'm sitting on the couch, my roommate's on the chair across from me, and he's on his phone, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know Bruce was at WrestleMania." And I go, "Are you looking at the Miz and Maurice picture?"
The Miz and Maurice picture.
He's like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I go, "Because that's from 5 years ago. He posts that every year." To try and trick someone.
People even comment.
To try and
people will comment.
Right, and he no-sells the comments. He doesn't he doesn't correct them. And and I go, yeah, and he goes, oh, I can see the banner in the background, like that's like in those big stadium kind of things. They have that that ribbon of graphics, you know, that, and it says, he's like, oh yeah, it says WrestleMania whatever. I'm like, yeah, he gets someone like you every year with that shit probably.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So yeah, that's.
Well, I saw the comments on it this year, and I'm like, damn, he got everybody again.
Oh yeah.
Like,
but who? It wasn't wasn't workers, was it? It was like fucking.
Oh, it's I don't even know who they are.
They're like local.
Maybe even people he knows personally.
Yeah, like I think it's mostly local fans and stuff.
Right.
Wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I every year I laugh, and it was so funny that we had such a good laugh about it, and then it like proved out right in front of me, like
right.
Oh shit! Right. Yeah. So all right, you want to start talking about?
So I'll tell you, so WrestleMania Night 2.
Yeah.
I kind of was paying attention, but not not as much as I was on night one. I don't know if I was just burnt out from night one being fabulous, fantastic, and it was great. Night two was great.
Well,
but
I'll agree in that, but I had excuses. Night one, it was just me most of the night there. Night two, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 other people there, a baby, a dog, free pizza. There were plenty of distractions. So between having conversations and eating and wrangling fucking crumb munchers, it was a whole different vibe.
Right. Dynamic, right. Yeah. But so I'll tell you, I'm not gonna talk about every match. I'm just gonna tell you what I thought. You could tell me. I thought AJ Styles and Edge would be better. I was disappointed.
It felt weird, and the way they I think the way they booked the match, the story they had leading into it, you're like, why are they like slowly doing entrances and then waiting for a lockup and a bell to ring and all this shit?
Right.
You would have thought one guy would have just
killed each other.
One guy would have just fucking ran up and clobbered the other behind the back on their entrance, or when they both got in the ring, it would just like they would just collide and start throwing punches. It wouldn't be like this civilized match structure. It was leading to a brawl, and then you didn't get a brawl.
Right. So I was disappointed with that. For sure.
I'm gonna watch it again because a lot of people say it was a good match. I'm not.
I was disappointed because I'm like you. It should have been a fight.
I'm not sure I love his new look. It's very like there's a lot of Undertaker vibes.
Right. Yeah, I'm not 100% with it.
But I mean, it's like anything else. I think you just get used to it. It's just because it's different.
Yeah.
The music, it's a whole package change. It's music, it's the gear, it's everything, it's the character. So it's like it's a lot for you to absorb all at once.
Right. And then my other gripe is, I know they missed that tag match on night one with New Day versus Sheamus and the guy who broke Big E's neck. And what's his name? Little Petey? What's his name? Dutch?
Butch.
Pete
Dunne.
Dutch.
Formerly known as Pete Dunne. Now he's Butch.
They went, I know they tried to make up and put him on night two, but they literally went 2 minutes.
It was 10 minutes, including entrances. Yeah.
But the match was only like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
it's just like, to me, it's just like, why put that?
They were talking that, I was reading, it's like on each night there was a flex match. I think on the first night it was McIntyre, and McIntyre was supposed to have a whole big entrance with like some of the other ones with like
those guys
with like a bunch of guys singing or whatever, and he cut that because he didn't think it added anything to the match, but it also probably took away from their time. You know what I mean?
Right. So I don't know. That was pointless to me, and it's kind of a slap in the face to those guys too. It's like I mean I get it, they're getting their payday, they probably don't give a fuck, but
especially it's like you've got, it's like they're honoring Big E. Big E broke his neck recently. Right. They're wearing his gear. Woods is king of the ring. I mean, it's like acknowledge like some of these things, that should make the match a little more important. But I mean,
disappointing.
That's the flex match. It's like there's a couple of guys where you're looking and you're like, it's like Bobby Lashley had to fight almost on WrestleMania. That wasn't the year before. Didn't he have a title match? So it's like it's like you're from year to year. Sometimes you have to take the ebbs and flows of the tide, I guess.
Now on the positive side, Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn was ridiculously funny and fun.
That's the one I think most people are mixed opinion on. And I guess just how you like your pro wrestling, but this is the WWE, so it's not pro wrestling anyways. It's sports entertainment.
Right.
That was like, if you're not familiar with Jackass, you're not a fan of it, I can understand. But if you get it, if you get what they are, what they do, then it was fantastic.
Right. Zayn did a great job.
I mean, Zayn did a great job. Right. I think Knoxville did a pretty good job. I think. Right. Yeah. I think he knew how to do the moves they asked him to do. Wee Man with the slam was fantastic. Listen, Knoxville's such a pro that when they pulled the thing and the fucking mousetrap didn't go off, he knew how to make it go off. He
knew how to fix it.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, he literally saved the fucking finish of the match. Like,
here's my thing. He's been doing this so long, he knew how to fix it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But believe me, if anyone knows the intricacies of a mouse,
right, that's what I was like. I popped more for that. My first thought was, he is so good at this. He knew how to make this work. Like, anybody else would have probably froze. He figured out how to make this work.
This match,
and then
if you think about it though, this match is Vince McMahon. Like, it's everything Vince McMahon loves to do.
Yeah,
like, every fucking bit in that, Vince McMahon would have done individually over the course of the 30 years he's been doing WWE. You know, I mean, he had a little person on the roster, like, doing this shit all the time, hiding under the ring, doing this kind of. I mean, come on, this was perfect.
No, it was great.
This was like, Vince could not have been happier in the back. He was probably peeing his pants laughing at the whole fucking thing.
Right. And then, of course, the McAfee, Austin Theory, Vince McMahon spot with Stone Cold. Now, the match was whatever. It was just cool. The theory of Pat McAfee is ridiculously fucking athletic.
Well, like, he's an NFL fucking athlete. I mean, you could say he's
ridiculous.
You could say he's a punter. But right. You know,
he could still be playing in the NFL. That's the thing too.
Right. He chose to do more interesting stuff with his life.
Right.
He's like, I've got a Super Bowl ring. I'm out of here. You know.
Right. Now, Austin Theory that kid's really come a long way. But Vince coming out, I think, just from when Vince went to take off the jacket, the place was going fucking apeshit. Because 72-year-old Vince McMahon was about to get in the ring.
76.
And everybody was 76 was going to lose it. And he's still in better shape than me and you at 76. And yeah, I mean, and McAfee sold for him on those clotheslines, that second one especially. And then of course,
slow down. Go back to the match. Because the
match didn't even really mean anything to me. It's the ending.
The match, okay, but you have to take it as three individual things. That match did. Right. It like cemented Pat as like a fucking badass, because he had that match with Cole at NXT, but no one saw it compared to WrestleMania. So he's on WrestleMania, and you got to imagine, dude, who fucking jumps from the mat up onto the third rope like that?
I know.
Who box jumps like that? I mean, come on. Like, I don't see any fucking wrestlers doing it on that fucking roster. And everything he did was perfect. He didn't botch anything up. He wasn't doing the one thing that a lot of like people knew or like someone that's a celebrity who's, even if they've got this match down, memorized, and they've practiced it 100 times in a ring, what a lot of those guys will do is still really rush through it. They're just like, you know what I mean? Like, concentrating on what's next, trying not to forget what to do, and they're just rushing through it. This was paced like a match, man. He fucking gets it. He gets it a lot more. He gets it like fucking Logan Paul gets it way more than Ronda Rousey gets it. You know what I mean?
Right, I agree.
And so he really showed his shit.
You're right.
And my point is that I've been like catching his podcast the last 2 days just to see because he has these big names on. He gets like writers and agents and athletes and et cetera, et cetera. Fucking everyone tuned in to see him fucking work. So it was worth Vince fucking putting him on a match. Like, some people might begrudge that he got that spot at WrestleMania when you have all these full-time workers, but let me tell you something. A lot of famous people and influential people tuned in just to see Pat work, and then fucking went and tweeted about him and put him over. So, you know.
Right, I agree. I agree.
What I mean?
No, you're right. No, and
but what he said on that podcast though is that allegedly he did not know that he was going to be fighting Vince. I think that was all ad-libbed.
Right.
And he didn't know that all that Stone Cold stuff was going to happen. But I feel like if they didn't tell him, they at least knew it. Because Vince, even like, if you watched him, he reacted to the wrong music at first because he knew Stone Cold was going to come out. They played Theory's music first, or Pat's or someone's. And you saw him do the panic look to the back. Then he realized it wasn't Austin's music, and he kept going. So I don't know what part of what part Pat didn't know and did know, but man, he like that guy
knocked it out of the park.
Lived out 3 dreams in one. He got to wrestle on. He had got to beat a guy on WrestleMania. He got to wrestle Vince McMahon.
Right.
At WrestleMania. And then he got to fucking drink beers and take a steamer from Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania.
And call the first night of WrestleMania.
Right. Well, and did he not call part of the second night?
I can't. Did he? Yeah, I think he did.
I think he did.
Yeah. But it was funny though that so we thought, of course, Stone Cold Night 1 was amazing for us, and then all of a sudden Stone Cold comes out for Night 2. I did not expect that.
Nobody did
whatsoever.
I mean,
but we also didn't expect Vince McMahon wrestling.
Right. So, that whole thing was a complete curve.
Now, I think I said this in the thread. We were able to witness probably 2 of the best sold stunners in history of the Stone Cold stunner.
I'd say, I mean, he's given a lot of stunners. I'd say it's in the top 5 to 10. For sure.
Right, because even McAfee's was great because when he fell slowly and the beer spit out of his mouth, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he went down like a tree, slowly tipped back. And as he was tipping back, the whole way back, he was spitting the beer out of his mouth like a stream.
But when he hit the ground, it was like one last spurt of beer came out.
Yeah.
And then Theory took it like he got exploded.
Well, Theory took it like The Rock and Scott Hall would take it.
Scott Hall.
Oh, wait, just like a way over bounce and whatever. But
then we were graced with probably the worst ever in history of a stunner by a guy who's taken them 1,000,000 times.
But he never sold them well.
No, but
he never sold them well. This was the worst of the worst of his. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Like, he didn't know there was a kick first, I felt like.
I think he just totally got confused. He didn't know. He forgot how to sell the stunner.
Right. He did.
Because I think, because here's the thing. If you think about it, he kind of sold for pedigree where he went to his knees.
Yeah.
The gut kick with the pedigree, you go to your knees. With Austin, you stay up so he can grab you by the neck and pull you down.
Right. And he took the kick and fell to his knees, but then when he got up, he lost his balance and he
stumbled back towards the ropes. Stumbled back to the ropes. Austin made 1 or 2 grabs for his head and couldn't reel him in.
Yeah, he grabbed and missed. Right.
Then he reels him in and then takes him down. Austin was
went down weird.
Yeah, he just went down. Austin was in tears, laughing, crying after that.
Yeah.
And if you saw
Mick Foley,
it's hilarious because he's wheezing, he's crying, he's choking, and it's like after the stunner. It's like that's with the best part we even missed because the kid had to grab the phone out of his pocket and turn it on. He wasn't he didn't know that was coming. He didn't know to film his dad until his dad saw it and couldn't catch his breath. And he's like, let me catch some of this. So you can imagine what the original fucking response was.
Right. That was absolutely hilarious. Yeah, that was just golden shit right there. But, hey, from a nostalgic standpoint, the sad part is this. Guys like me and you, we're old. We had Undertaker retire. Basically, he's not that he retired because he never retired in wrestling, but he went into the Hall of Fame. We got Austin, we got Vince. It was
Triple H left his boots.
Triple H put his boots in the ring. Yeah. This was really the end of our time.
It was definitely the last 2 Attitude Era guys, and
there's nobody left. Right.
And even though Austin was part of it and he actually wrestled that night, he was done. Right. He's not going to come back again. And
that was it.
And that was probably the last time you'll see Vince do anything in a ring.
Right. So it was really
they really closed the book with the last 4 guys. I mean, Vince might do something cockamamie because he's Vince. I almost thought at one point, I'm like, is there something in Vince that made him decide at some point when Hunter said he was going to leave his boots in the ring and can't wrestle ever again to just have one more moment in the ring, to outlast his son-in-law in the business? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In ring business,
Right.
That's always in the back. I always think nefarious things when it comes to
weird.
Vince McMahon.
Right. No, I agree. Right. The whole thing was weird, but it was fantastic. But then, do you want to talk about Mania anymore? Because I really want to bury Monday Night Raw real quick.
Well, there's some good and the bad. Raw. Well, let me look. Let me look at the thing. Brock and
Brock and Roman, but that was fine.
That was good. I think it might have been a little short for a main event Mania
I
unification.
think Roman got hurt.
You think so? They called an audible.
Yeah, because I've seen the video. His arm was pretty fucked up.
I mean, there was a
Kimura when they went into it.
There was a bruise on it. I don't know if there was.
Yeah, when they went into it, they kind of it was kind of rough.
Just Brock shooting on him a little since he had to give him the belt that night.
I don't know what it was.
Like a little love tap.
It was rough, right?
Yeah. Let me run down the card. Edge and AJ, we kind of talked about. Edge, the other thing, they're setting up a fucking
Damian Priest. Yeah.
Like a faction with him, a heel faction. The tag champs, I don't think we even need to talk about that.
No, it was nothing of excitement.
The women's tag match was fucking. That was exactly what we thought it would be.
Right.
Sammy and Knoxville, McAfee, and Lashley almost, which was what it had to be. You can't have almost destroy Lashley,
right.
So let's transition to Raw because the Bobby Lashley one, that was the thing that made the most sense that night.
Always the Monday Night Raw after Mania is huge, big deal.
Last year wasn't that good.
No, right. But you usually get surprises and, maybe new guys show up.
Right.
Man, I thought it fell flat last night. It was
flat.
Wow. The crowd wasn't
You want to know why? Because they paced themselves. They didn't go bang, 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 bang and just throw the kitchen sink at you and set up like the first half of the year like they sometimes do on Raw or the first quarter of the new wrestling year like they did on it was very it opened into a 20-minute fucking Cody promo. I mean,
so we only got one wrestling match in the first hour.
Yeah.
And it was a women's match.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, right? That was the women's match.
What'd you think of the Cody promo?
I
know you're not a Cody. I know you're not a Cody guy.
Okay, here's my problem.
I'm really in on Cody right now.
He left because he wanted to get out of the shadows of Dusty. Out of the shadow of his father. Said it a million times in the last 6 years. And then his promo is all about his dad. Well, and how he's gonna. And I get it. Because that's what it should be. I love but people aren't stupid. We know for 6 years you kept saying you left there because you wanted to get out of the shadow.
But he didn't leave because of that. He left because of bad writing.
He said it so many
bad
times.
Writing and glass ceilings and and having to do star fucking dust every day.
But then Rollins came in and they shook hands and that was it. And I was like,
yeah, I think
I don't know.
I felt two things with that promo. I felt like it was a really good promo. It was really heartfelt. The amount of emotion in it was really good. He had two problems. He needed to tighten that up. He could have said all of that, or maybe not repeated himself to tighten it to at least drop 2 or 3 minutes from it. It went a little long, and that he could have done two things that I think would have really helped him a lot. I think the first thing was that he did not emphasize that he left a dream job with a great steady paycheck to bet on himself.
Right,
and,
which he should have said.
And then succeed on every level. And now he comes back to conquer hero. I think that is such a story that so many people relate to that you really have to keep emphasizing that. And he says, and make it sound like I climbed every mountain, I conquered every fucking, killed every dragon, etc. Even allude to AEW, like there was nothing left for me there. I had done it all. It was time to come back. I built a company, and now I'm back here because this is where your legacy is cemented. And I think that they missed a real opportunity not impressing on that whole journey and his bet on himself. The bet on yourself is such a huge thing people can relate to or dream about and are afraid to do. And then the other thing was, I thought it was instead of the shake hands thing with him, it was a perfect opportunity to talk about, which he did mention in one of the interviews that he did that weekend with someone, about how like Rollins and company were called Dusty's kids, from NXT, and And maybe there's this bitterness of why he left also. They're pushing all of Dusty's kids. Fuck you. I'm Dusty's kid.
Right.
That's another narrative that you could have really wrapped your, like the one or the other or both of those that neither one they did. The two ideas I just threw out there
I just thought it
would have been
flat.
tremendous booking like opportunities there for the next 6 months to 2 years. And hopefully they touch on both of those things. But
and I'll tell you, like I thought that fell flat, and then
I just think it went long and they missed an opportunity. I didn't think it fell flat.
Right. I think
because he didn't lose the crowd.
No, because they still wanted to see Cody. But I will tell you who did lose the crowd, and I thought Bianca Belair
terrible.
Lost the crowd.
She totally lost the crowd. She needs a manager.
Totally lost the crowd. She even stopped talking at one point because I think when they probably told her, when they rehearsed it, they told her to pause because the crowd would react.
They didn't react.
Reaction.
I know exactly. It was early on.
Awkward.
It was early on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like the first sentence or two. It was fucking awkward.
It was almost like when someone's reading a speech off of a card and they read the note, pause for reaction. Yes, it's almost like she read really that out loud. Awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it was awkward. I was like, wow. And she's not good. She's good, but I don't think she's good enough to know how to react off that. Like, it was very awkward. And then I'll be honest.
She needs a manager. I think she needs a manager.
She does. Right. I only really paid attention to 2 more segments.
They should,
the entire night.
They should just bury that tag team and let them both come out with her.
Yeah, they should.
Just let her husband and his tag partner, or break them up. Let him manage his wife and let the other guy do some solo stuff or sit on the shelf, or both of them be with her.
Right, like a group. Right. I really only paid attention. I couldn't keep concentrated on the show. It was just, it wasn't doing it for me. It really kind of fell flat altogether. But there's 2 other things, and one is what I'm going to bring up. I thought it was hilarious that Elias came out with a shaved face and tights on as Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother. Like, to me, that is fucking hilarious. But on the other hand, it's hilarious. Owen's promo was hilarious.
Owen's going, no, I know those eyes. You're not as young.
You're Elias.
And then he called him 8 E names, like Edward and
Edward, Eric. Yeah. And I thought the promo was great.
Yeah.
But to me, where do you this is it for Elias. If this doesn't work,
because he's now he's they kind of he's still long hair, but it was trimmed, and totally shaved his face, and he had baby face fucking gear on, they did him dirty, making him shave that beard.
The whole thing was right. It was. I was because I thought it was great, but you got to, as a wrestling. We've been watching it long enough to know that this is the end of this guy's road. If this doesn't work,
right?
Where do you go from there?
This is the New Day gimmick before they all were convinced they were going to get cut. And
you can't go back to Elias at this point because he'd have to be off TV again for a really long time.
Right, to grow the beard and the hair out a little bit.
Yeah, it just would not work.
And that joke, this is kind of like Fandango, where it's it's a one trick fucking thing,
right? Right.
So he's I don't know what they're gonna do with him, what kind of shtick they're gonna do with him, but they've literally painted him into a corner. I feel, and then did him dirty because now he can't. He can't even he
can't do anything. He's done.
Well, if he gets cut, let's hope that beard could grow in 90 days.
Right. So that I did think it was funny though, and then the only other segment. The only other segment, which I thought was the best segment on the show, was MVP turning on Lashley, which I texted it to you guys. I could just tell the way they were standing. I said he's going to turn on it. I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Fucking brilliant, because MVP, there was a reason he wasn't out with him at Mania. He attacked him. He joined Omos, who needs a manager.
Well, so that was the thing.
Now he's got this.
Remember, perfect. I messaged when he was coming out and clapping hands and doing all this stuff. I don't know if it was Mania or Raw. But I'm like, babyface Lashley, And I'm thinking, well, that doesn't pair well with MVP, But I didn't think it all the way through. And so MVP got butthurt that Lashley said he didn't need anybody to beat Omos. He did it all on his own, and then everyone turned on everyone, and now it was the right everyone I think we all agree perfect. He can go manage Omos because Omos needs somebody. He needs a manager, and that'll work perfectly.
No, probably the best thing that happened. I think it's perfect. It was well thought out, well written, old school classic. Turns on the guy, and now the guy's a baby face, and Lashley's going to be a super over baby. Perfect. It couldn't have been any more perfect. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really watch the rest. I saw the Roman Reigns thing this morning, and I thought it kind of just ended. There was really nothing to Roman Reigns' promo.
He came out. He was basically announcing an announcement. He was saying, I'll be on SmackDown, and we'll let you know where we go from here. Right. And I was kind of thinking, that obviously he's not working Cody right away because Cody already came out and did a big promo and shook his hands with Seth, whatever that fucking means. That was very strange. I don't know what that alludes to, but I figure you figured that as he was talking, someone was going to interrupt him for his next thing. Right. And I guess that's going to happen on SmackDown. He'll talk, and what's next? And somebody's going to come out. And it's going to either be someone out of the blue that's going to blow everyone's socks off. I don't know if it's going to be The Rock. I don't know if it's going to be, he's gone through.
We'll see. It's probably going to be Brock again.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's blown through Brock now. He's blown through Cena.
We'll see.
They don't have a lot of guys touching that top area anymore. What do you have? Stone Cold come out?
No, it's not going to happen.
So I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to start the Cody narrative because I feel
but it's not going to happen.
I feel like who else in this company at this point is going to do it other than Cody?
There's nobody.
But you wouldn't do that right away. That's for SummerSlam or for fucking next year's Mania. That's not for tomorrow.
Yeah, there's nobody.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know who that's going to be, or if there's.
I just didn't think it was.
Or if he's going to maybe he's going to talk about how I'm, I've beaten everyone. There's no one to beat, so I'm going to take a few months off and wait for someone to fucking show up that's worth fighting. Who knows at this point?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was flat.
For him that both belts, right now, you think he's got, he's not taking time off, obviously, because then they have no championships to defend unless they want to start creating interim ones. How long does he keep it unified?
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I thought it fell flat the whole show, and I'm not going to watch Friday. I'm waiting for tomorrow. AEW. So, yeah.
AEW is going to be interesting because they had the Ring of Honor thing that weekend also. So you're going to have a bunch of guys, AEW roster guys, showing up with Ring of Honor fucking belts because a lot of those guys won them. So we'll have to see what that story is, and we'll see Samoa Joe, and I don't know who else.
Christian Cage versus Adam Cole.
Is it?
Baby.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Christian
it. That's cool.
Adam Cole.
I really. Every time I see Edge getting pushed to the moon, I feel like we're missing out on them using Christian.
Yep.
But maybe he's not.
We'll see.
He's not up for the same craziness.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's all I got. I got nothing else for you.
You barely had anything at all.
I just wanted to talk wrestling, and honestly, I drove 7 hours today. I have not pooped. I've been holding it in. I wanted to get through this podcast, and you know what? I am pacing my kitchen because I'm prairie dogging. He's coming out to check to see if we got another 6 weeks of winter.
You're growing a tail. Is there an Australian brown snake slithering around your floor?
Yeah, no, we're at that point right now, and my head hurts so bad from driving all day, getting these damn kids. And,
you're just you're just 10 pounds of excuses in a 4-pound bag, aren't you?
Well, I'm way more than a 4-pound bag, my friend. So.
You're 300 pounds of excuses in a 280-pound bag.
275.
Debatable.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I'm going to get...
That's all good. I got to go. I'm literally... I got one foot in the bathroom.
I'm sending Best Buy to your house to calibrate your scale.
Goodbye.
Bye.